Are you breaking the laws of physics just by being alive? People look at biology, the perfection of DNA, the structure of a leaf, the rhythm of a heartbeat, and think life is a miracle. They think life creates pristine order out of a chaotic universe, that we are somehow defying the second law of thermodynamics. Wrong. You aren't just a little wrong about this, you have it fundamentally backwardsly wrong. Here is the terrifying, beautiful truth. Every breath you take, every thought you have, and every beat of your heart is acting as a cosmic accelerator pedal. You are rushing the entire universe toward its ultimate, freezing heat death. Try this right now. Put your hand on your chest or against your neck. Feel that warmth? That heat radiating off your skin is the universe dying a little faster. You are not a rebel against thermodynamics. You are its greatest, most efficient weapon. You are the universe's way of destroying itself. Sounds impossible, right? How can something so complex and beautiful be a machine for destruction? Let me show you. Look down at your own hand. Wiggle your fingers. You see bones, muscles, and tendons pulling with perfect mechanical grace. You see order. People say biology is the opposite of entropy, but that's just a label. Here is the part nobody tells you. To keep those fingers moving, you are constantly pulling energy from your environment, using a fraction of it, and violently dumping the rest out as useless scrambled heat. Every time a cell divides, every time a neuron fires, snap, 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 you are shredding useful energy into chaotic waste. Imagine a perfectly organized library. Now imagine setting it on fire just to read a single page by the light of the flames. That is you. That is life. We are not fighting the decay of the cosmos. Exactly. We are the match. But to truly understand the scale of this cosmic crime, we have to look at what you actually are. We have to strip away the illusion of your fleshy shell. Are you ready for it now? Close your eyes and imagine a teenager's bedroom. Clothes piled on the floor, books scattered, half-empty mugs growing science experiments. It's chaotic. It's a mess. Now look at your own body in the mirror. Perfect symmetry. Millions of tiny blood vessels routing oxygen with GPS-like precision. Your brain looks at the room and screams, "Chaos!" Your brain looks at your body and whispers, "Order. Stop." This is where your intuition completely fails. People say a messy room has high entropy, but that's just a label. It's a biological lie your brain tells you because it likes things neat. Physics doesn't care about your laundry. Let's zoom in. If you take a microscope to that messy room, you see atoms sitting mostly still, quiet, stable, boring. But take that same microscope to your pristine, orderly human body, violent, boiling chaos, trillions of molecules slamming into each other continuously, proteins folding and unfolding like origami in a hurricane, acids burning, bonds snapping, heat radiating outwards in invisible waves. Your physical body is a raging thermodynamic furnace pretending to be a statue. Wait, how can something so violently chaotic inside look so perfectly organized outside? Because you are cheating. You are borrowing order from your food and paying for it with pure heat. Think of a refrigerator. It makes the inside cold, crisp, and beautifully ordered. But try this right now. Put your hand behind the fridge. What do you feel? Heat. Blast waves of hot air. To create a tiny box of order, it has to violently vomit chaos into the kitchen. Exactly. You are the refrigerator. Your body maintains its delicate internal order by constantly dumping thermal garbage into the universe. But what exactly is that garbage? What is this invisible tax you pay just to stay alive? To answer that, we have to talk about the most terrifying rule in the cosmos. The one law that even Albert Einstein said would never, ever be overthrown. The law that guarantees everything you love will eventually crumble into total dust. Are you ready to meet the real monster? Let's dive into it. Let's talk about the monster, the second law of thermodynamics. People say entropy is just a measure of messiness, but that's just a label. It is not about a messy room. It is about cold, hard probability. Think of a brand new deck of cards, perfectly ordered, spades, hearts, clubs, diamonds. Now, shuffle it, just once. What are the odds it stays in perfect order? Basically 0. Why? Because there is only one way for the cards to be perfectly ordered, but there are billions of ways for them to be scrambled. Nature doesn't actively hate order, it just plays the odds. And the odds are completely overwhelmingly stacked against you. This is the universe's dirtiest secret. Things don't fall apart because of some mystical force of decay. They fall apart because there are vastly more ways to be broken than to be whole. Imagine a glass of water with a drop of red food dye right in the center. Hold that thought, because it's about to flip upside down. At first, the dye is organized, a tight, perfect little sphere of red. But look closer. Zoom in 1,000,000 times. Water molecules are vibrating. They jiggle, they wobble, they smash into the dye molecules. Push, pull, smack. The red molecules scatter, they drift. Can they ever bounce backward into that perfect little sphere? Technically, yes. The laws of physics allow it. But statistically, never. The universe relentlessly marches from unlikely states to highly likely states, from concentrated energy to spread out useless heat. Entropy always increases, always. If you drop an egg, it shatters. The energy dissipates into sound and heat. You can never, ever undrop the egg. Wrong. Well, you can't. But biology looks at that shattered egg and says, "Watch me." This is where people get confused. They look at a plant growing from a seed, assembling carbon and water into a complex, beautiful leaf. They think the plant is undropping the egg. They think life is running the film backward. That sounds impossible until you see the trick. Life isn't breaking the second law. Life is weaponizing it. You are not a magical exception to probability. You are a machine built to surf the wave of decay. How? Let me show you the engine under your skin and exactly how much chaos you are pumping out right now. Are you paying attention? Good. Let's pop the hood. Boom. Let's talk about cars. A beautifully engineered sports car sitting in your driveway, sleek, cold, dead. Turn the key. Suddenly it roars, it shakes, it breathes. People say you are fundamentally different from a machine, but that is just a label. You are a heat engine, flesh and blood instead of steel and oil, but the physics, identical. Think about a car engine. It takes high-quality, highly organized energy, gasoline. It sparks, it explodes, snap. It uses a tiny fraction of that explosion to push the pistons. And the rest? The vast majority of that beautiful energy, it gets blasted out the tailpipe as useless, chaotic heat. Now watch what this implies. Look down at your stomach. You do not drink gasoline, but you eat an apple. An apple is a battery of low-entropy, highly organized energy. The sun spent months packing photons into sugar molecules. Tight, neat, ordered. You take a bite, you chew, you swallow. What happens next? Your body burns that apple, not with a flame, but with millions of microscopic chemical fires. Try this. Hold your hand near your mouth and exhale deeply. Feel that? Warm, damp air, carbon dioxide. That is your exhaust pipe. You took the beautiful structured order of that apple and shredded it. You extracted just enough energy to keep your heart pumping, to keep your brain firing, to keep your cells from falling apart. And to pay for that internal order, you dump the rest into the room as chaotic, vibrating heat. Wait, do you see the scam yet? To maintain the tiny, fragile order of you, you must constantly destroy the order of everything else. You are literally eating the order of the universe and pooping out chaos. And this is where biology breaks your brain. It is wildly brutal. It is non-stop. It is absolute. Because the sheer scale of this destruction is hard to fathom. If you did not do this, you would die. Your molecules would stop fighting the second law. They would relax. They would spread out. You would decay. Life is not a state of being. Life is a process of controlled burning. But to truly see this violence, we have to go smaller. We have to shrink down, way, way down, down to the invisible factories pumping inside your veins right now. Ready for the real chaos? We are going in. Don't blink, because the scale is about to shift completely. Close your eyes and imagine shrinking down, smaller than a grain of sand, smaller than a cell. We are going inside the microscopic engine room of your body, the mitochondrion. People say cells are like little quiet factories, but that's just a label. They lied. A cell is not a quiet factory. It is a screaming, violent war zone. Look around you. Water molecules are not gently floating. They are tearing through the space at 1,000 miles per hour. They smash into proteins. They jiggle. They wobble. They snap. Right in the middle of this boiling storm sits a machine, a literal, physical, spinning motor made of atoms. It is called ATP synthase, and it is spinning at hundreds of times per second. Stop. Think about that. You have trillions of these tiny molecular turbines spinning inside you right now. If this motor were the size of a car engine, it would melt. The friction would be unimaginable. But here in the quantum soup, it twists and pushes. It takes raw energy from that apple you ate, and it snaps chemical bonds together to make ATP. ATP is a microscopic spring, coiled incredibly tight. Every time your muscle twitches, millions of these ATP springs snap open. They release their pent-up energy to pull your muscle fibers. Snap, pull. Snap, pull. But remember the brutal rule of the cosmos? The universe always takes its cut. This is where your intuition completely fails. When that ATP spring snaps, it doesn't transfer all its energy to the muscle. Not even close. A massive chunk of that precious, hard-earned energy is instantly lost. It scatters into the surrounding water molecules as random, chaotic vibrations. Pure heat. Pure, disorganized, useless heat. You are paying a massive thermodynamic penalty on every single chemical reaction, trillions of times a second, in every single cell. Your body is a masterpiece of biology, yes, but structurally, it is just an incredibly complex machine for turning organized food into chaotic heat. You are grinding up the order of the universe. So you might ask a very logical question here. If you are constantly destroying the universe's order just to stay alive, why hasn't the universe run out of order yet? Where is all this fresh, clean energy coming from? To understand the true cost of your life, we have to follow the math. We have to look at the invisible tax you pay to the cosmos. Because the universe never, ever lets you cheat the system. Are you ready to truly see the receipt for your existence? Let's look at the entropy tax. Wait, things are about to get weird. Let's look at the receipt, the cold, brutal math of your existence. People say life creates order from chaos, but that's just a label. It is completely backwards. Life creates order for itself by creating an overwhelming, catastrophic amount of chaos for everything else. This is the entropy tax, and you pay it on every single transaction in the universe. Think of a massive, crowded casino. You walk in with crisp, ordered $100 bills. You play the slots. You pull the lever. Snap. You win $20 back in crumpled ones and fives. The house keeps the rest. The house always wins. In physics, the second law of thermodynamics is the house, and the currency is useful energy. Every time your cells build a beautiful complex protein, every time your brain organizes a thought, every time you heal a cut on your finger, you are concentrating energy into order. You are lowering your local entropy. But watch what this implies. To lower your entropy, your body must burn fuel. It must take those crisp $100 bills of chemical energy and shred them. The heat you radiate right now is the $80 the casino kept. It is chaotic, useless energy that can never be put back together again. Here's the part nobody tells you. The total entropy of the universe, the amount of chaos, must always increase. So if you lower the entropy inside your skin, you must increase the entropy outside your skin by a much, much larger amount. Let me say that again because it should terrify you. For every single unit of order you create in yourself, you dump 10 units of chaos into the cosmos. You are not an island of perfect organization. You are a massive, violent blender of cosmic order. You are literally sucking organized energy from your surroundings, extracting a tiny sliver of order and vomiting the rest out as vibrating thermal garbage. You are the universe's most efficient engine of destruction. And this leads to a massive, glaring problem. If every living thing on Earth is constantly grinding up order into useless heat, why hasn't the Earth turned into a chaotic, dead pile of thermal garbage yet? Where is the limitless supply of crisp $100 bills coming from? To answer that, we have to look up. We have to pull back from the microscopic machinery. We have to zoom out from your beating heart. Don't blink, because the scale is about to shift to the entire solar system. Are you ready to see where the real power comes from? Let's look at the cosmic source. Look up at the sky. Imagine you are standing in an open field, staring at a massive burning ball of hydrogen, the sun. People say the sun gives us heat and light, but that's just a label. They lied. The sun is not giving you heat. The sun is giving you cold, hard order. This is where your intuition fails completely. The sun is an absolute beast, a 15 million degree nuclear reactor. It fuses hydrogen into helium, screaming its energy across 93 million miles of freezing vacuum. And that energy arrives at Earth as tiny individual packets of low entropy light, crisp $100 bills. Hold that thought because it's about to flip upside down. Think about this. If the Earth just absorbed all that heat, it would eventually melt. It would boil. But it doesn't. Why? Because the Earth is radiating exactly as much energy back into space as it receives from the sun. Exactly the same amount. So if the energy coming in equals the energy going out, what are we actually using? What is life actually surviving on? Here's the trick. The energy coming from the sun arrives as a few massive, highly concentrated photons of visible light, extremely low entropy, beautifully ordered. Plants absorb those few powerful photons. They use that incredible structured energy to build a leaf or an apple. Then they dump out 20 weak, scattered, useless photons of infrared heat. The energy amount is the same. The quality of the energy is completely shredded. And this is where biology breaks your brain. Earth is a massive machine for taking one crisp $100 bill from the sun, using it to build life, and spitting out 100 crumpled $1 bills into the cold void of deep space. We are not an isolated system. We are a tiny eddy in a massive river of entropy flowing from the sun to the freezing cosmos. We exist solely to ride the decay of the sun's energy. You are a temporary structured vortex in the middle of a massive thermodynamic collapse. Think I'm exaggerating? Look at the math. Without that constant blinding flow of order from the sun, your body would shut down. Every plant, every animal, every human would scramble into cold, dead dust in an instant. So what does the universe want with us? Why are we here at all? Let me show you a disturbing truth about what you actually are. Are you ready to see why the universe desperately needs you to exist? Let's look at the ultimate function of life. Let's talk about a rock, a completely dead rock sitting in the sun. It absorbs heat, it gets warm, it slowly radiates that heat back into space. Boring, slow, inefficient. Now, replace that rock with a forest, a sprawling, living, breathing jungle. People say life creates pristine order from a chaotic universe, but that's just a label. They lied. Life is not a miracle of pristine order. Life is a hyper-efficient machine for destroying order as fast as physically possible. Here is the part nobody tells you. The universe wants to reach maximum entropy. It wants to reach heat death. It is a coiled spring trying to release all its tension. But sometimes energy gets stuck. It gets trapped in neat, ordered packages, like the complex molecules in a dead log or a barrel of oil. A dead log could sit there for centuries, slowly rotting, barely releasing its energy. But throw a single match on it, snap. Fire is a chemical catalyst. It rapidly unlocks the trapped energy and violently blasts it into chaotic heat. Fire accelerates the universe's march toward decay. Now watch what this implies. You are a vastly more sophisticated version of fire. Biology is the ultimate catalyst for entropy. A planet with life on it degrades the high-quality energy of its star much, much faster than a dead rock ever could. Think of someone you know. Think of their complex, brilliant brain. That brain burns 20% of their calories just to maintain its internal electrical storms. To power a single thought, that brain is violently shredding glucose molecules, turning them into disorganized thermal exhaust. You are not fighting the decay of the cosmos. Exactly. You are the match. The universe is using you to burn through its reserves of low-entropy energy faster. Life is not a fragile accident struggling against the second law of thermodynamics. Life is the second law's most powerful, efficient tool. The more complex you are, the faster you burn. The faster you burn, the faster you pump chaos into the void. You are not a rebel against thermodynamics. You are its greatest, most efficient weapon. You are the universe's way of destroying itself. But what happens when this biological fire gets out of control? What happens when we stop just burning apples and start burning everything? Let's look at how fast we are actually driving the cosmos into the ground. Are you ready to see the real speed of this destruction? Hold on. Let's talk about a match. A tiny flame burning a single stick. Now look at a city at night. A sprawling web of neon light, concrete, and steel. People say technology is a sign of ultimate order and control, but that's just a label. They lied. A city is a terrifying monument to entropy. We don't just use biology to burn sugar anymore. We use civilization. Think of a massive, roaring coal power plant. It takes millions of years of ordered, buried sunlight and violently detonates it in a fraction of a second. We rip the raw, ancient order from the earth and turn it into chaotic heat just to power a light bulb, just to power your smartphone, just to watch a video on YouTube. Here's the part nobody tells you. Every single technological advance we make is just a faster way to grind up the universe's order. We build massive air conditioners to cool our tiny rooms, blasting tidal waves of thermal garbage into the atmosphere. We build rockets to hurl organized metal into space, burning millions of pounds of structured fuel into chaotic exhaust. Now watch what this implies. You are a massive engine for decay, a hyper-accelerated entropy pump. You are single-handedly pulling the entire universe faster and faster toward its ultimate doom. Let me say that again because it should terrify you. The end of the universe is called heat death. It is the moment when all energy is evenly distributed. No hot spots, no cold spots, no stars, no life. Just a uniform, freezing, dead soup of maximum chaos and zero usable energy. Nothing can ever happen again. And you? Your beautiful, complex, intelligent brain? You are actively pushing us there. Every breath you take, every thought you have, and every beat of your heart is acting as a cosmic accelerator pedal. You are rushing the entire universe toward its ultimate freezing heat death. Every time you learn something new, you physically increase the entropy of the cosmos. Because information requires energy, and processing that information requires dumping heat. But wait, it gets weirder. If this is true, what is the point of all this beautiful complexity? If we are just a fast track to oblivion, why are we here? Why did the universe build such intricate, fragile machines just to destroy itself faster? To answer that, we have to look past the cold physics. We have to look at the philosophy of existence. Are you ready to see the deep truth of your own life? Let's look at the ultimate payoff. So, you are a machine for destruction, a cosmic engine burning down the universe. People say that sounds depressing, but that's just a label. It is actually the most beautiful thing you will ever hear. Think about a firework, a tightly packed cardboard tube of black powder and chemicals. It is perfectly ordered, it has incredibly low entropy, and it is completely, utterly boring. The universe could have stayed like that unlit tube forever, cold, quiet, ordered. But it didn't. It sparked. And the ultimate cost of that beautiful spark is destruction. To get the blinding, flashing colors of a firework in the dark sky, you have to completely destroy the powder. You have to embrace the violently expanding chaos. Life is the universe's firework. Yes, you are accelerating the ultimate end of absolutely everything. Yes, every time you laugh or love or build a towering city, you are dumping invisible heat into the cold void. You are spending the universe's finite, precious inheritance. But what an absolutely incredible thing to spend it on. You are not a fragile accident helplessly fighting against the cold laws of physics. You are the laws of physics, waking up, looking around, and deciding to put on a spectacular show. It's not just a story about thermodynamics and entropy. It's the universe experiencing itself in real time through you. You are the cold, vast cosmos intentionally burning its own finite fuel just to finally feel the warmth. So, let it burn. Breathe in deeply right now. Breathe out. Feel that heat radiating from your living skin one last time. That is not just chaotic thermal waste. That is the magnificent price of your fleeting existence. If you want to keep violently shredding the universe's order to explore the weird, terrifying, and beautiful machinery of reality with me, hit subscribe and like this video. Leave a comment below about what you are going to do with your entropy today. Join the beautiful chaos. Because the universe is definitely dying, but until it finally does, we are going to burn as brightly as we possibly can.